Hello and welcome back to another How to Bloke. Today we're making some Yorkshire pudding. You're thinking, well, what's Yorkshire pudding all about? Well, Yorkshire is a county in the north of England, and they have a particular cuisine, one of which is Yorkshire pudding. Now, it's not actually a pudding as we know it with jam and a sweet pudding. It's a savoury pudding, and I'll show you how to make it today. But we're not going to make it in a traditional Yorkshire way. We're going to use, instead of using flour, we're going to use corn flour. So instead of using flour made from wheat, we're going to use flour made from corn, and see how that goes. And what we need is 3 eggs. 3 eggs. So we're going to, if you forget how to make this, just think of the threes. So 1, 2, 3. 3 eggs, and we'll give that a little whisk, just like that. And then after that we need a little pinch of salt, not too much, just a pinch. There's a pinch of salt, and we need some corn flour. Now corn flour is the finely milled, I'll show you, looks like that. Okay, so we need 3 eggs, we need 3 tablespoons of corn flour, 2, 3, okay, you got that? Okay, so 3 spoons. Now, we need milk as well, we're going to add that in a minute. So 3 eggs, 3 tablespoons full of corn flour, then we mix it gently. If you went hammer and tongs at this, all the flour would come out of this bowl. So I always like to have a bowl, like a jug this one is, I can get hold of and lift it up on the side like that. A jug or a bowl will do. Anyway, it's important now what you do. See, that's the egg is starting to combine with the flour, and you want to make sure, keep whisking it until the mixture is smooth. It looks a bit like custard, doesn't it, at the moment? That's quite, yeah, kind of not thick custard, but thickish custard. Okay, we can see that's smooth there, look at that. That's perfect, that's what you need. Now when you get a bowl, it's important to get one that's the same radius as the sieve, as the whisk, because you're going to get bits that are in that corner that you can't get out of if the whisk is too big or the bowl is too small. If you get so, what we're going to do right now is just get the spoon again and just go around the edges of that bowl there. So you might say, so why haven't you used a bigger bowl then? Well, because I haven't got one at the moment, and that's why. So anyway, so I'm confident now all that mixture. Now, okay, so 3 eggs, 3 tablespoons of flour, corn flour this time. How much milk you think? Well, full fat or semi-skim milk, you can just go like this. Ready? 1, 2, 3, like that. You see how scientific that was? I measured that, didn't I? So, what does it look like now? Well, it looks like a very thin, very, very thin custard. Look at that. See how thin that is? That's just what you want. That's just what you want, like that. As I suppose, it's not supposed to, this pudding, this Yorkshire pudding, not supposed to be a major event, you know. You can eat it on its own normally. You can eat it as a starter with a bit of gravy or something. Or you can eat it as a dessert and put some jam on it. And in the States, this recipe kind of is similar to Dutch pancakes. So it's kind of a similar sort of thing. So, but we're going to call them Yorkshire puddings because I'm a Brit, as you may have guessed from my accent. Okay, so we're going to get on to this. So we've got a mixture here, and it's looking good. So next job is these are silicone molds here. Look. Now the reason I'm using silicone molds because it's easy to clean. Easier to clean than the metal ones. You could use a metal one like this, but you know it's difficult. Even if it's non-stick, it's difficult to clean. So I like to use these ones because what you can do is you just push out the thing there, and you can really get the thing nice and clean. So here we go, and you can use them again and again. Okay, so what we're going to do is put a little bit of oil in each one. Now the oil is there to stop to increase the heat of the mixture instantly and to stop it sticking as much as possible. So how much oil? Well, a teaspoon. How much is a teaspoon? Well, that. So we do that in each one. Don't fill it up with oil, just a little bit in each one, just like that, no more than that, as you'll have more oil than Yorkshire pudding. Like that, like that. So each one is there, has got a little bit of oil in it. You could use it, you could try and do it without oil, but there's more success. And just zhuzh it around like that, so the surface of the silicone things are covered. You could use it without oil, but I like to use oil. Right, now we're going to heat this up in the oven just for 5 minutes or so, just to keep warm everything through. So when that mixture hits the oil, it starts cooking straight away. We want a lift, to generate lift. Okay, so we're going to put that in the oven, and we'll come back. We're back, and we've had the silicone moulds in the oven heating up for a few minutes. You don't need to put on more than 5 minutes. Just heat them through nicely, so they're nice and warm. Nice and warm. So there we are. We've already put the oil in there. Now this doesn't have to be super hot. It just needs to be warm. So what we're going to do, we're going to fill each one of these moulds with some mixture. Just give the mixture a little stir again, and you can do it like this. Look, watch. And the other one. Now this mixture is gluten-free, made from corn, not from wheat. So if any of you are gluten intolerant, this might be one for you. So just top them up. Don't fill them up more than half full, because they'll overflow. It won't work. So just half full maximum, like that. Okay. Now using our oven gloves again. Don't pick it up with your bare hands. Using the oven gloves again. Put it in the oven, and the oven's got to be on maximum. So put that in there, and we'll set the timer for 10 minutes. Okay. Right, we set the oven for 10 minutes. The oven's on maximum, so that's 250 degrees, 240, 250 degrees centigrade, or whatever that is in Fahrenheit, 400 something. So it's going to be hot, pizza hot. After 5 or 6 minutes, you can, if you've got an oven with a glass door, you're laughing because you can see what's happening to them as they cook. But regardless, after the initial rising, you can quickly open the oven door, and if you think they're getting too brown, then just reduce the time you're going to cook them. For example, this is 10 minutes. I said 10 minutes because people's ovens are different, a different temperature, and this in particular is a it's a fan-assisted electric oven. So there is a more the hot thermals of air will tend to cook it quicker than a conventional electric oven, or perhaps you've got an old, perfectly good, but an old gas oven. And so the temperatures are going to vary, but I would say no longer, for certainly no longer than 10 minutes, and just check after 5 or 6. Okay, we're back now, and we're going to get these beauties out of the oven. Oh, look at that. My word, can you smell that? Oh, look. See how they're shrinking down a little bit? Little beauties out.
Oh, that looks so good.
Anyway, well, you're going to say to yourself, well, why should I bother to eat Yorkshire pudding or Dutch pancakes are made of corn flour. The simple reason is corn flour has, I wouldn't say it has no gluten in it, but people who have problems with gluten can normally eat corn flour okay. So that includes me. Me and corn flour, I love bread, absolutely love it, but it doesn't love me so much. So I have to be careful with gluten, stuff with gluten in. So here we have the Yorkshire puddings, I like to call them, or Dutch pancakes if you're in another part of the world. Now, how do we have these things? Well, you could just pick one up and eat one in front of the TV. Bit of salt, easy, you know, hot snack, TV snack. Or you could say, well, I've already done the starters, I don't want to have these for starters. What can we do with them? Normally, if you go in a pub, have a pub lunch, or you have roast dinner at home, and you do Yorkshire puddings, you would have, for example, this would be the dinner plate, then you have your roast meats here, whatever it is, chicken, beef. You just imagine this, and the vegetables and so on. What you'd have is a couple of these on the side there, like that. Maybe 2 per person, or maybe even 3 if you love them. And you just put a tiny bit of salt on that, and voila. And you can. The thing about these things is, it's best to serve them up straight away, because if you leave them around at room temp a long time, they go a bit. They go a bit soft. But these are really quite crispy. Is the word? Not quite crispy, but they don't want to be too crispy like a biscuit. It's a pudding, so it has to be kind of like pancakey. But they're great. That's all from me. This is how to make gluten-free Yorkshire puddings or Dutch pancakes. So until next time, on HowToBloke, please subscribe. Please give us a like if you like what I've done today, and see you next time.